Hi there! Before we get started, a friendly reminder. The information discussed on this podcast is for entertainment and informational purposes only. While our guests are knowledgeable in their respective fields, your personal situation may require unique guidance. We encourage you to consult with a qualified professional for personalized advice. Now enjoy the episode.
Hi, and welcome to AndWon Should Know, where we, your best friends, AndWon and myself, empower and encourage you to take that best journey of your life yet, taking care of your health.
Yes, we're so excited today to welcome our guest, Lam Mei Yi, who was an ex-model, wasn't she?
She was an ex-model. She actually launched a TV station called MediaWorks back then. And, you know, she's been on the cover of so many, like countless high-end fashion magazines. You know, and now she's married. She's got children, 2 kids, in fact, a wonderful husband. And her journey is really something. We're so excited to have her. But more importantly, Yan, I think at any one time in a woman's life, she would have experienced a health scare of such pertaining to breasts. Now, for myself in my 20s, I think it was between my early to late 20s, I would say, I discovered a breast lump. I had a fine needle biopsy done, fine needle aspiration, I think they call it. And thankfully, it was benign. The doctor then, I think 25 years ago, doctors still were quite unsure of whether or not it would become something more sinister.
Right.
So we had the breast lump removed. It was fairly big. I was shocked because it was a hard lump and I knew, something was not right.
Better to check it out.
Absolutely. So I'm so glad I got it out.
Yeah.
Now, as I've menopaused, I realized that I need to be more on top of things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I too have had, thankfully, I've done the annual breast checks. And I mean, every once in a while, just making sure that you're actively checking for yourself and also people around you that you love. But I too had a friend that actually experienced breast cancer, and she discovered it rather late because, naturally with kids and a busy life, you kind of just think, whatever.
Yes.
It's not hurting me. It's not bothering me. I'm just going to forget about it.
Somehow your life doesn't take center stage when you've created a family, when you've had children.
Exactly.
Because you're running around doing everything for all the people that you love.
Exactly.
That you put yourself last.
Precisely it. And so unfortunately for her, it took a lot longer with the healing journey. It's been back and forth. Thankfully, she's still hanging on. But I think the doctor did say that if she had actually discovered it earlier, if she had actually taken those steps when she first discovered the lump, I think it would have been a much easier journey than she is now. But she went into remission and then it came back, went into remission a second time. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that everything goes okay.
You're keeping her in prayer for sure.
Yes.
It's something that really has hit very close to home for me because my mother-in-law is also a breast cancer warrior. And it happened during the time where she had just come out of recovery, maybe less than a year, and I was going in for my transplant. So I've had very good girlfriends, my mother-in-law, and I think this is a very important topic that we should talk about.
Definitely.
And hopefully we'll be able to help people look out for the signs as well as maybe encourage them along their healing journey.
Yeah, for sure. And just to take those early steps. And as soon as you detect something, definitely go get it checked out. It's always better to prevent it if you can. If there's any preventative measures that you can take, early discovery is always better than waiting too long to take action.
Absolutely.
And today we're very excited to have our guest with us, Lam Mei Yi, who used to be an ex-model. How did you know Lam Mei Yi?
Lam Mei Yi actually was in a movie with my husband when they were still really young, in their 20s.
In our 20s.
Yes, and she's someone I hold very dear to my heart because she's just not an ex-model. She launched a TV station. She's been on so many covers, numerous covers of high-end magazines. She's a mom now to 2 boys, and her journey is quite spectacular. At some point in our lives, us women will go through something where we have a health scare. And for Mei Yi, it was breast cancer. Tell us, Mei Yi, how you found out and what it's been like since.
Okay, so I found out that actually I didn't know I had breast cancer. About 9 years ago, I stopped breastfeeding my second child. I was about 41, right? And I found this little lump. Not even on my breast, but somewhere higher up on my chest. And I thought, maybe it's a blocked duct, but maybe I'll go see my doctor to see what she says about it. So I went in to see my gynae at that time, and she looked at it, and we did a mammogram and everything, and she said, "Oh, I'm going to refer you to a surgeon, but it doesn't look like it's anything to be worried about."
Right.
Yeah. So I went to see my breast surgeon at that time. And again, we did the scans and everything. And when they came back, she said that, "Oh, there is a very small lump, but it doesn't look like it's cancerous. It looks benign, but I would like you to take it out." So I said, "Okay, if it's benign, then I will schedule a time to come in, but I'll go for my family holiday and all that first." So I did. I went, and I only came back to Singapore and did that biopsy about maybe a month later.
Okay.
So quite long. And it was during that biopsy that she found out on the operating table
Right.
that there was actually traces of cancer. So what she did was, she didn't wake me up. She just continued, and she took out 13 lymph nodes all at one go.
Gosh.
Yeah, but of course, to me, I was under the impression that I was in there just for a day surgery,
Right.
just to remove this small lump that
Right.
she thought was benign.
Right.
So of course, when I woke up, I mean,
Shock.
it was a big shock,
Yeah.
right? Because first you tell me that it's benign,
Yeah.
but then I woke up and now you told me you have taken out 13 lymph nodes, and that you're testing it to
Right.
make sure that it didn't travel to any lymph node. So
Yeah.
that was quite a shocker for
Yeah.
me when I woke up.
Must have been.
Yes.
But it was kind of fortuitous, though, that you did manage to get your holiday in and you didn't really think much of it,
Yes.
right? And then, of course, there's no way to take this type of news, right?
It was very shocking.
Yeah.
It's because I went in not knowing,
Right, exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So of
No
course
prep.
I died for the next few days, just crying and really upset. And then I did a PET scan, right? Just to make sure that if it went somewhere, where is it? So
Yeah.
we did all the scans and everything, and thankfully,
Yeah.
it didn't go anywhere. But
Right.
it only they only found traces in one other lymph node. So out of the 13, there were only traces of it on one.
So they would have staged it at what
Yeah, of
stage
course
after
they would
the
have staged
biopsy?
it. That would be a stage 2A because it went to one lymph node,
Right.
right? And I had to do minimum 4 rounds of chemo and 30 sessions of radiation.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
How was the radiation? Like, you read all these horror stories.
Actually, radiation was pretty easy for me.
Okay.
I just felt a bit tired, but I did the chemo first. Yeah. So after I finished the chemo, then I did the radiation.
Got it.
So I've been through the worst. So this radiation is nothing.
Nothing. It was a
Compared to
chemotherapy.
It was the chemo that was horrible.
And it was hair loss and just
Everything.
Everything.
I went to Henry from Sing Salon,
yes.
and he was so sweet. He would cut my hair shorter and shorter every time I saw him.
Yeah.
Until I needed to do the treatment, then he would. And then when my hair started falling, he shaved it.
Yeah,
for
I
me.
remember the day when she came into my salon and she had a shave. And after that, I wasn't there. But my staff had told me, and I could see that all of them were so shaken because,
Yes.
May had been, such a
Yeah.
loyal client of ours for so long.
Yes.
So it was hard, even for us
Yeah.
at the salon, but it could not have been easy for you at
Oh,
all.
no, it wasn't. It was one of the hardest periods in my life.
Yeah.
And also at that time, my father, who was about 81, he was battling his own cancer journey.
Oh, goodness.
So he had blood cancer, that leukemia for when you're at
Yes.
that age.
Yes.
Right? So he was already battling it for maybe 2-3 years. Yeah. So when I found out I had the breast cancer, we actually kept it from him. So he actually didn't know. Yeah, he didn't know.
But he must have felt that you were probably out of sorts.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not-
He
didn't
did,
have
but
as
we
much-
just didn't let him know.
Yeah.
But anyways, he passed away after I finished my first round of chemo.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness. I can't even imagine what it must be like to be going through your own journey and then
Yep.
having someone so close to me, like your father, going through that as well. That's
Yep. It was the hardest time of my life. I
Did
think I've
you-
never had a harder time
time
than
in your
this.
life. Yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine. Did you turn to faith? Like, what was it that helped you?
I
Because I
mean-
know I've read that you were also a yoga practitioner. Did that help you?
I
along
already
the journey?
believed in God. I mean, I might not have been a very staunch Christian, but I believed in God, and I always said my prayers once in a while when
Yeah.
I remember to, So obviously when this happened, I had my own conversations with God as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, because at that time your children were still so young.
Very young.
You had just given birth to your second.
So my
along
little
with
one was
all
only
those-
one,
Yes.
and my older one was only about four and a half. Yeah.
How did you explain that to your children?
I think my little one definitely didn't know what was going on. He was too young, but my older one understood. So every time I would just tell him that mommy is sick, and I'm going to lose my hair
Yeah.
and I won't be able to play with you so much when I'm on this cancer week.
Yeah.
Every 3 weeks you do a cycle.
Right.
And you feel terrible the first 10 days, but then thereafter you are all right, normal until your next cycle. So I would always tell him during these 10 days that it's going to be rough. I'm not going to be able to play with you, but you're welcome to sit in bed with me with your toys and all that. And that's exactly what he did. He would bring out his Lego and all his stuff.
amazing.
Yeah. And he would
Children
just
are
sit
so
around.
resilient.
Exactly. He would just sit around me and he would just play with his toys.
That's so cute.
It's
Yeah.
funny how just as you have your first chemo cycle and you feel you're getting better, and then you go straight into the next one.
Yeah. That's the rough part of it. That
Right.
that first 8 days, I would say, is really brutal. Like you can't eat,
No.
you can't really sleep.
Yeah.
Nothing. You just don't feel.
Like you want to do anything.
Yeah,
Or
you
can
just don't
do
feel
anything.
right.
No, I'm
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
I was just sharing with Andrea a little earlier that a girlfriend of mine also had breast cancer, but she discovered it far later than you.
Okay.
Because she's got 3 kids and
Right.
she's just busy mom, and she lives in Canada, so there's just wasn't a lot of help. So
Yep.
she, during her discovery, I think she took it. It was very difficult for her because she was also going through a divorce at that time. It was just like all
double
coupled
whammy.
together. It's like a double whammy.
Yeah, the stress
Exactly.
doesn't help.
And
Yeah.
so that was a lot of it was she relied on therapy. She had to go see a therapist. And I think that began her journey
right.
with seeing a therapist because she was
Yes.
such a non-believer before.
Yep.
And then when this happened, she was like, okay, I think she needed to, because she
Talk
wasn't
to
religious,
somebody.
she needed to speak
Yep.
to somebody. And that's really helped her in her journey as well.
Yes. I agree. Definitely talking to people. I spoke with many of my good friends.
Yeah.
Who were there for me through my journey.
Yep.
Yeah, they also helped me with the kids. They would pick the kids up from school. They would let them play in their house. My neighbors. They were all very supportive. So
Yeah.
I was quite lucky.
Yeah.
You know, the thing with women is our hair is so important to us.
Yes.
What was it like when you finally had to come to the decision
To shave
of
it?
shaving your head?
Nothing actually. For me, it's just hair.
Okay.
I'm one of those people that I don't fuss over things like that.
Yeah.
For me, the survival is everything. Hair, just wear a bandana,
Yeah.
which I did, a scarf
Oh, you
for
rocked
6
it.
months.
You
I tried my
rocked it.
best. I went online, searched for all these fancy looking
Looking ones,
bandanas,
yeah, yeah.
turbans, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then you just try and accessorize it, put a little bit of makeup,
Yep.
just don't look bad.
Exactly. You
know,
rocked
but
it.
but you got to try.
Yeah.
You can't just cry over your hair and not want to go out
Yeah.
and not want to see people. You have to keep going.
Yeah.
Because that's life.
That's
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
That's really
And
good.
that's really brave for you to just say that's just life. You
Yeah.
know, you
Yeah.
no matter what, you have to
just
push
hair.
through.
Yeah.
It's just hair.
Yep.
It's just skin. It's just weight.
Yep.
You can work at it. You can lose it if you put on a lot of weight during chemo or bloatedness or whatever.
Yeah.
Those physical things shouldn't worry
So
you.
heavily. on
Yeah,
you.
it's so true. It is
You know
true.
what I mean?
Yeah, at
you
that
worry
point, it's
about
your
getting
survival.
better.
It's
You
getting
worry
better.
about looking after your kids, to
Absolutely.
seeing them grow up. I think those
Absolutely.
are the important things to take away
That's good.
from having a disease.
Yeah.
Do you think to a large extent that was what really kept you going? The fact that, hey, I still want to see my boys grow
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, of
I
course.
still
Yeah.
want to see them go
Definitely.
through
Yeah, yeah,
college
yeah.
and
You
get
know?
married.
Yeah. Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course. And I'm also a fighter. I've always been a fighter.
Yep.
And I think that stemmed from being an athlete when I was young.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was very disciplined. You put in hard work,
Yes.
and no matter how hot or how tired you are, you keep going.
Yep.
Right. So I feel like that has helped me mentally, to tell myself, hey, it's just something you have to cross. And even if death comes knocking,
Yep.
it is what it is. It's inevitable. We all have to die
Yeah.
sometime.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
say death, just wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
how you go.
Yeah.
I think that will make the difference
Yes.
Absolutely.
to your own life or to your children's life.
It's really
Yeah.
good. Such a good example for the kids, to have that kind of resilience. I think in this day and age, as you see, I'm also a little on the older side, but you see some of the younger ones, they do a lot of things just affect them very quickly, and they don't have that perseverance to move past it.
Yeah.
Because it's
they keep dwelling in it.
they dwell in it a
you
lot.
know?
Yeah.
And yes, I cried for a whole year or whatever, My health wasn't very good for many years after the chemo and all that.
Okay.
Every time the kids fell sick, I felt sick. And there were days where it was just horrible. I was sick for like just months.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're just trying to build the immune system.
Yes.
And many times you want to throw in the towel and
Yeah.
say, just enough. But
I
then
give
you
up.
tell yourself, no, you get up and you go to the gym,
Yep.
you eat a nice meal, you hang out with the kids, and then you start again tomorrow.
Did you incorporate any habits that you could share?
Yes, for sure. Actually, I was always active, like, running, yoga, Pilates, whatever. But when I had the kids,
Yeah.
right, that was when my fitness really took a downturn. Like I stopped exercising so hard or so much because I just didn't have time.
Yep.
With the work and the kids and the school and having another kid.
Yep.
It was a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
So what I did was when I found out I had the cancer, then and I was well enough to exercise, I started exercising. So every time I did my cancer treatment, for that 1 week I would be terrible. But then the next 2 weeks I would work with my personal trainer. I would go for yoga classes, I would hike, I would run, I would do anything. I would do anything active, right? And people say, oh, you're sick, you shouldn't be exercising. But I think that's the wrong mindset to have. The more you have to go out, take a walk in the park, at your own pace, of course,
Yep.
at your own, how much you can push yourself. Yeah, and I did that for the whole entire, through my chemo and through my radiation.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, no, my girlfriend didn't do that. She should have. I think she just, I think because of the divorce as well. She only started that a little bit later. Yeah, but I think it does really help.
Yeah, it does help.
Your journey of recovery is very important because
Yes.
of the people around you, the network of support that you have. A lot of husbands go berserk when their wives get ill,
Yes.
especially when they have cancer. They're
Yes,
suddenly
yes.
lost.
Yep.
How was Stephen in all of this?
Stephen was, of course, very stressed, plus the fact that he also travels quite a lot for work. So he worries for me quite a bit, thinking that, he might not be around for a lot of things. But thankfully, my mother-in-law at that time and my father-in-law were living on the 9th floor, right? So I had a lot of support from them. My mom and my father came to see me every day.
Wow.
Right? And I also had my neighbors who were also so kind, and my best friends who would help me with the kids. Yeah, but of course, when Stephen was around, he would take me to doctor's appointments. He would take me to eat whatever I wanted, make sure I was comfortable and that I wasn't stressing about anything at all.
So you just ate whatever you felt like. You didn't go on a special
No,
diet?
I did.
Okay, tell us about
Like
that.
most crazy people who became ill, I went to the extreme for a little while, right? Because I didn't know any better, and I thought this was the best. So I cut out all dairy, I cut out all meat, right? For a while, and I only did fish, right? And I did lots of vegetables. I did juicing for that.
Can we have juices? Can we have a juice for me?
I did green juice for many years, actually, even subjecting my poor husband to it. So whatever I drank, he drank, right? And then I realized that I was just not putting back the weight that I lost during chemo because I was just eating too little, right?
Right.
So
Right.
then I started putting back the meat. I started eating out more. I started to be normal again.
What was your cheat meal or your fun meal? Because I love eating, so I'm always
my
curious.
cheat meal. Oh my God, so many things. My cheat meal, I think definitely some local food.
Okay.
Oh.
Some nice like nasi lemak or mee siam, whatever. We're Singaporeans, we're
Yeah.
Asians.
Yeah.
We love our noodles and our rice,
Yeah,
and I also
exactly.
love my potato chips. Oh, good.
You must have had very high metabolism growing up.
And
Yeah,
and also
man.
cakes. I missed eating cake so much for like
Because of the
6 months.
sugars?
Yeah, because of the sugars, right? So you try and starve yourself with the sugar. But in the end, you realize that life is about moderation.
Yeah, it is.
Right? And being happy is more important than just eating green juice and fish soup every day.
Yes, I'm sure.
I
Yeah.
feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I learned it the hard way. That's why now if I talk to anyone, about diet during cancer, I always tell them eat everything but in moderation. Of course, cut out the junk. That one is important.
Yes.
But I think to eat the things that you like
Yeah.
in controlled portions is definitely okay. Yeah, you got to be happy.
Yeah.
Even
Did the doctors have any recommendations
no,
for you though? Oh,
my
really?
doctor said that you can eat anything you like,
Okay.
but just eat wisely, right? Nutrition first,
Yep.
and of course less junk food and stuff.
Very cool.
Okay. Going back to hair, because I'm so crazy about hair.
Yes, this is why you own a salon.
That's why your hair always looks so nice.
Exactly, it's true.
Well, your eldest son especially, because he was quite
Yes.
aware of what was going on.
Yes, he was really about four and a half. Yeah.
So when you walked in the door with a shaven head, what was his reaction?
He also had a shaved head.
Oh wow! In support of mommy.
Yeah, he went to Henry. Remember, Henry used to cut his hair for him. So he also had a shaved head when I shaved my head. And I said, look, mommy's hair is just falling off, so might as well just shave it off. And he said, but don't worry, it'll grow back. I told him. Then he said, it's okay, mama. It's okay. It looks like me.
Oh my god, so cute.
Yeah.
It helps that
Unity.
it helps that Mei has a head. Now, we Asians, especially Hokkien, we like to say jiam tao lo ti. So she has this head, right, that is just gorgeous behind.
Oh,
Even if she was bald, even if she,
it's
wore
a good
this
shaped.
for forever, it would look good.
I was very
Yes.
lucky that the head shape was like
Your parents put you
a bit
to
like
sleep in
cone
a
head,
good...
but okay.
Oh my god, my head it's like flat. People always say that I could have tea. It would be like having tea on my head because it's so flat. I was like,
It's because your parents made you sleep
oh
like
my
that
back.
all the time,
I think
not
nobody
not
like
on the
rolled
front.
us. Exactly.
Right?
That's probably what
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah. Most Asian kids like that though.
Yeah, they have that.
But now
flat-
the parents are smarter.
They roll them around.
Yeah. Like my older boy has a beautiful head as well because he slept like that.
that's smart. Yeah, mine
You
was-
learned well from your parents.
Yeah. You learn.
Don't worry, Yan. We'll give you a nice haircut.
I know, and I always.
Thankfully, you have a lot of hair.
Oh, thank you.
But the hair really grows back pretty fast.
Absolutely.
That's good.
But I would say that it's not a myth that it is not a myth. Actually, your hair is not as thick when it grows back after all that cancer treatment and radiation. Definitely thinner. So it's not a myth. Like
It will grow back thicker.
no,
It doesn't.
it won't grow back. I would say not like before, but I still had a lot of hair, but maybe not like in my 20s or in my 30s.
Yeah. So you're in remission?
Oh yes, 9 years.
Congratulations.
It should be in remission, or I'll be very upset.
Yes, but can I be a little bit capable and go back to your
Yes.
past of
Sure,
your
sure,
modeling?
She's not interested. in
I know.
watching
I
ages.
I lots of respect for the breast cancer, but I do want to know
Okay.
your past life.
Okay.
Because I used to see you grace all of the magazine covers, and I
Okay.
used to, and I actually figured I'd bob my hair because I'd look as cool and
As
powerful.
Lamei.
As Lamei. It's true because I used to look at all Holland Village. They used to have that magazine shop.
Yeah,
I used
yeah,
to peer at that shop
The
all the
mama
time.
shop.
That
Yeah,
mama
yeah,
shop.
yeah.
Oh my god, I love them. And then
love them.
Lamei's
They're
face
still
would be
there.
on all the like different magazines on there. So my question is,
Yes.
do you think that actually, having done the modeling, the high glam, do you think that sort of helped you because you knew and you had the tips and the tricks already for how to like look good during cancer?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Plus, also, there's lots of information on internet right now. You know that you can go to,
Yeah.
and definitely the modeling helped. You
Yeah.
know, I always like to look like I'm put together neatly. I don't need to be like decked out in designer clothes and stuff, but I like to look neat and tidy. Yeah.
Got it. And did you think during the modeling days,
Yep.
do you think that also gave you the insight to, okay, well, these are tips and tricks, for what I can do to get myself to that neat and tidy? Because I'm totally like you. I like to do the neat and tidy. I don't need to be
Yes.
decked out in
Yes.
designer wear,
Yeah.
even though I do like my designer every once in a while, but it doesn't have to have all
Yes,
the
it
logos.
doesn't have to. Yeah.
Exactly. This whole series now of, I think that everyone's in this, the quiet luxury.
Yes.
I think that's very much me. If you could share with us, like, what are some of the tips and tricks to like looking neat? I know it sounds really superficial, but I think when you're going through something
Yes.
like cancer, I think that would be
Of course,
very
number
handy to
one.
have.
A lot of that
is-
also will boost one's confidence.
Of course.
It's true.
My number one is make sure you put some makeup on. Make sure you know how to put makeup.
Yeah.
Make sure you draw your eyebrows every day.
So important.
You wake up, and if you have hair or you don't have hair, make sure your hair looks decent, looks nicely kept, or and put on some fun clothes. I think that always makes people happy. Something bright, something not too black and baggy, and you know.
I have these visions of her looking like a hippie chick because her bandanas were to die for. And then she, she's so tall, right? And she'd come in these long bell-bottom jeans. And she just rocked the look during her cancer, really. You wouldn't even have thought.
That she was.
Yes.
That is very, very cool.
Amazing. Just amazing.
I try my best.
I don't think you gotta try very hard, babe. You got it pat down from
try
the
my
day
best,
you
try
were
my
born.
best.
That's very cool. Yeah, I know. I think for me, I told Andrea knows I'm still on that journey, even though I'm quite old now, figuring out how to do the makeup portion because.
But your makeup looks fine.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
it looks great.
Wow.
Looks
That's,
fresh.
That's going to keep me happy for the rest of the
Yeah,
week.
looks nice and fresh.
Yeah, it took me
You
a
don't
little
need a
while.
lot either.
Yeah, you
That's
don't.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And less is more, honestly.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
more.
Less
The
is
older we
more.
get, less is more.
Yes.
A good foundation, a blusher,
Sunblock.
sunblock.
Yes.
You know, a bit of shading and just lipsticks and eyebrows,
Yeah.
of course.
Eyebrow,
really good.
sunblock, lipstick.
Yeah, eyebrows very important.
Very
Otherwise, you look kind of weird. Yeah.
That's true. That is true. Eyebrows are important. Otherwise, you've got
Very.
you're bald. I agree. But also, I think having like easy like wardrobe to kind of work with
Yeah.
as well. I
Correct.
think is really handy to have. Kind of curated already.
Monochromatic.
Yeah.
You know, easy colors to match, mix
Yeah.
and match.
Love
Exactly.
Bonito does that really well.
Yeah, that's
Monochromatic,
true.
easy
Yes.
to match,
Yeah.
neutral colors,
Yes,
just
yes, yes.
perfect.
You could just throw anything on. Like, yeah, it's great.
It works.
It really works. And then they
Yeah.
have the non-iron stuff, which is amazing as well. Because I travel a lot for work. It just you want to stick it in the
Yes.
your
I really
luggage
hate
and-
ironing. It's one of the
I do
worst
too.
things when my helper goes back home for like 3 weeks. I die.
Yeah.
I know you're
I will tell my husband there'll be no shirts
Yeah.
to wear. There's no need. I'm
Yeah.
not ironing anything
I
for
hate
you.
ironing.
I
know,
only
it's-
iron the school uniform because they have they have to not look so lapped up when they go to school. So actually, I'll just do the uniforms. But
And
my
the rest-
husband's go, no, you can iron yourself.
Oh gosh, it's true. Speaking of your husband, I read that you also joined your husband in his journey, his work journey as well, haven't you? You've joined him with
They have
the
a jewelry
company,
business,
right?
Yeah.
Which is
So
cool.
my husband's family business is Canary Diamond. Yeah. So I started helping them maybe about 16 years ago. Yes. So, but my husband doesn't work there anymore. Not in the
Okay.
last 10 years.
Ah,
So he's
okay,
currently
no,
with
no.
Hugo Boss. Yeah.
Oh,
Are you a part of
cool.
the whole designing of the jewelry? And you have a second
Yes.
line as well that you created.
No, the second line was actually created by my brother-in-law.
Oh,
Yes. Previously, I had a brand called Matthew Campbell Lorenzo that we brought in, and we had a shop in Ion. But after a couple of years, we decided to close it because it wasn't so profitable. I would
Yeah.
say. The silver kept getting more and more expensive, and it was just hard with the rentals and all that.
Yeah. Makes
Yep.
makes sense.
For Canary Diamond, I mostly help out in marketing and also sales and also at the back end, whatever needs to be done. As a family business, you really try to help out in every part of the
Every
business.
aspect.
Yeah,
Yes.
every aspect.
Every aspect. As a business owner, so when we get busy during
Yeah,
Christmas,
you have to be
Chinese New
receptionist, you
Year,
have to do
receptionist,
sales, you
I
have to-
wash hair, I sweep the floor. You just do
Yeah.
whatever it takes.
You do whatever it takes to
Yeah.
keep that shop looking good and running.
Yes.
That's ownership.
So after this whole cancer journey,
Yes.
looking forward, what do you see your life?
I've already looked forward.
Yes, absolutely. You have.
I've really looked forward, but I think my takeaway from this whole journey is that I stopped stressing about the really small things. I don't want to get angry with people for small things, but I also don't want to be surrounded by people who are toxic, who are narcissistic, and who I feel are not going to contribute much to my life. Hence, I also stopped attending a lot of functions. I try to focus more on my children. Like people say, oh, why do you come for this event, that event, this event? It's not like I don't want to go, but sometimes I have to choose my children over attending these events. And I choose my children.
Yeah.
I choose to watch them at tennis practice. People will say, why are you sitting there watching your children so boring for 2 hours? But for me, I watch them play, I watch them grow. I watch how good they are, how good they can be. And that makes me happier than going to an event. Yes, I get to meet up with people, I network and stuff, but for me, I've made my choice after my cancer that my family was way more important than any of this other stuff.
I guess it's gaining that perspective. I think sometimes people get so caught up. I mean, myself with work, and it can, sometimes the environment can get pretty toxic, and you just need to be able to separate that to make sure that things are serving you as opposed to not serving you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Prioritizing is very important so that you don't have so much stress in your life. When you go out, you think, oh, I have to dress up, I have to look good, I have to talk to this person, you know, what if I don't look good? What if I don't take a good picture? You know, it just becomes difficult. So I choose wisely.
It's true. Especially because you were a public figure in the past. Yeah, that's that image for sure.
Are there some words of encouragement you can leave for our viewers?
I think if adversity comes to you, you can cry over it first. Cry, digest, and then tell yourself not to give up. You know, tell yourself that there's a silver lining in whatever. Even in death, there is silver lining, right? There'll be no more suffering, you know. But I think don't give up. Don't give up on yourself or your journey, and always be helpful to others. Even if you're ill, you can still be helpful to others. That for me is the takeaway from this whole cancer journey. Yeah.
Thank you, May.
Oh, most welcome.
So on this episode of the podcast, we always have a debunking the myths section. And one of the myths that I wanted to ask you about is around not feeling systemically unwell. Most women generally don't.
Yeah.
Is it true that you then just don't have breast cancer and you don't even need to check because you're not unwell anyways?
I think that is definitely a myth.
Okay.
I think you have to go and get your own, you have to go and do your mammograms every year, and you have to examine yourself in the shower. You have to know your body well, so that if you do find a little lump, right, you know that you have to go and check in with the doctor. When I found my lump, I was feeling fine. You know, I was tired from the breastfeeding and everything, but I wasn't feeling sick or anything. But I did find it, and I did go and see the doctor immediately.
Okay, so just being very self-aware.
Yeah, just being self-aware.
Got it.
After going through chemotherapy, one obviously loses their hair, some do, some don't. Is it a myth or is it truth that hair will grow back even thicker?
I think it's a myth, because for me, at least, I feel my hair was not as thick when it grew back. But it's okay. Still have hair.
Yes, you still have a beautiful head of hair.
But Henry said got hair better than no hair.
So cute.
Wow. Today's session with Mei, I'm happy I didn't cry because I can't seem to hold my tears in. A few times I'm looking at her, she's looking at me, and
Don't,
no, let's not do this. But I hope you enjoyed this session with Mei today. And if there are any questions you'd like for us to ask on your behalf, please send those questions in and we'd be happy to answer.
And thank you, everybody, for watching this episode of AndWon Should Know. We hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you next time.